Huh. I'm not entirely sure how I was able to pull that off, but my hair actually looks kind of cool. But as awesome as my hair looks, it's nothing without this guy by my side on the weekends. Happy Saturday, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, it's just celebrating a nice quiet Saturday with, just gonna relax, gonna have a nice, quiet, relaxing weekend. Well, actually, I shouldn't really say quiet. Believe it or not, it's actually my brother's birthday today. So, yeah, if on the off chance you're watching this, happy birthday, bro. Love ya. Can't wait to see you later. That's gonna be awesome. Let's see. Actually, I mentioned this a year ago too, but not only is it my brother's birthday today, but it's also the birthday of one of my all-time favorite voiceover actresses, Colleen Clinkenbeard, who does more anime-related stuff for Funimation. If there are any, for example, I know there are a few, Dragon Ball fans out there. She does the voice of Goku when he's a child. She also did the voice. She's also the definitive voice for Gohan right now, as a child. Also, she was Android 18 on when Dragon Ball Z Kai was around, so that was really cool. She's other roles that she's done. Well, both of my favorite roles she's ever done are Urza from Fairy Tail and Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. So, on the off chance you're watching this, Miss Clinkenbeard, thank you very much for the years of entertainment. Big fan. Love and respect your work and continue to keep doing what you're doing. Because you're awesome at it. Thank you. Actually, the thing that's really admirable about her doing the voice of Luffy is she can play Luffy for about 4 hours, because obviously when you record voiceover, you're there for, several hours during the day, but then she's like dead afterwards. That voice actually takes a toll on her, but it's worth it because she's great at it. And, as someone who does watch One Piece and read One Piece, I can't wait to see how she handles a few other things that have happened technically the manga comes first, then the Japanese iteration of the anime comes after that. So I can't wait to see what her spin is when they get to certain dubbing points in English. Although there actually is one part that I really am looking forward to seeing her do. But it's going to be a while before we get to that. See, believe it or not, when Funimation does the dubbing for One Piece, they get to about altogether 8 episodes a month, which, that's fair in terms of, because, you don't just have the main characters, but you have side characters, other various animal sounds, stuff like that, right? But they don't release new episodes in English until several months apart at a time. So, yeah. As far as I know, they're on episode 575 right now, whereas the Japanese dub is going to be 880 tonight. So, they're sort of catching up. That's cool. I do believe they should be starting the English dubbing, or Funimation should be starting the Punk Hazard arc of One Piece. So, actually, I did like Punk Hazard when it first came out. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but no kidding, the island of Punk Hazard is the shape of a Pokeball. It's awesome. And the reason why will likely shock you, but that's a story for another time. And actually, I keep saying that we're in the Wano arc right now. For those of you who want to know, After Punk Hazard, it's Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake Island, The Reverie, and then Wano. So that's how far apart the English dubbing is from the actual manga itself. The Japanese dubbing is starting the Reverie arc right now, and we're going to get to Wano in July. So that's going to be cool. I'm just filled with One Piece facts today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why. So, yes, once again, Colin Klingelbeard, thank you for doing what you do. Happy birthday. I forget how old she is, but that's out here there. All I know is that she's still doing the voice of Luffy, and she's doing a great job at it, and that's good enough for me. So, yeah, that was... I talked a lot more about that than I really planned on doing, so... Oh, well, yeah, I probably should talk a little bit more about my brother, because it is his birthday today, and again, I never name names, and I've yet to introduce him doing these videos, but I can tell you some fun facts about him. Don't worry, bro, if you're watching this, I'm not going to say anything embarrassing. Don't worry, this is not the time or place for that. So the fun facts I'm going to say is, he should be turning 31 today. He turns 31 today. He went to Notre Dame High School, where I went to Horseheads. He and I would play different sports. See, for the most part, I did football or cross country, wrestling, and track. My brother would do soccer, basketball, and then lacrosse. And he actually didn't go to Trinity Poly. I mean, he was there to see me graduate, which was awesome. Funny enough, graduation weekend was Memorial Day weekend, so after I graduated from Trinity Poly, we just went to Cuca Lake for the first time that year. That was pretty cool. So there's that. What else? Well, I've said this a number of times already, but, he proposed to his wife in July of 2014, got married 2 years later, and he and his wife now live in Corning, which is great. I get to see him, basically whenever I want, but of course, I try not to be rude, not going to invite myself, do anything like that, so that's nice. So, yeah, just wanted to keep it, if I was going to name facts about my brother, I was going to keep it, modest. It was, simple stuff. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I would do. So, outside of that, we're probably going to celebrate his birthday later today. Hold on a second. Someone's around my ear. Like, that feeling you get, like, when you're talking, but, like it felt like your ear popped when you didn't really do anything or something like that? That's kind of what it feels like right now. It's really kind of distracting me a bit. But we all must suffer for art, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do. Yeah, so that's always nice. Actually, there is one thing I want to talk about today, and that's I'm actually rocking a Nike shirt. You can't tell, but this is the Nike logo. Okay, where's it? Yeah, that's the Nike logo. And when I put on this shirt, there is actually one story that I did want to talk about in regards to, believe it or not, when I did theater for Horseheads. This was the spring production my senior year. So the last play I did for Horseheads, we actually did Godspell. Now, funny enough, there's actually a scene in the play where the character of Jesus holds up a shoe, a Reebok brand shoe, and he says, the shoe says rejoice. See, the joke is, rejoice, Reebok, they both start with R-E. That's supposed to be what the joke entails, ladies and gentlemen. It's a simple joke, and honestly, I have heard funnier, but it's funny in sort of a simple way, which is nice. And when we did Godspell, though, we completely redid the line. So instead of a Reebok brand shoe, it was a Nike shoe. And when the character Jesus Christ says rejoice in the original play, the guy standing next to him says, the shoe says Reebok. And when we did the play, we had him say, it says rejoice. And then one of the guys grabs the shoe and says, it says Nike. So we completely redid that line for the show, which, it's fun. Anyone who was there who could be watching this right now, now y'all in the know, which is, great. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Come to think of it, I don't think I've heard of the brand Reebok in a long. Does Reebok even exist anymore? I thought they did. I would hope so. Yeah. So I'm gonna see if Reebok still exists. It should. That'd be. I hope it does. I actually remember seeing a lot of Reebok logo brand stuff, watching a lot of television and cartoons in the 90s. Commercials, that is, obviously. I know that back when Nickelodeon had shows like Global Guts and Double Dare, prizes would include Reebok brand stuff. So, actually, I remember Double Dare. Double Dare was awesome. But, some people are like, what? That show was awesome. Like, why you gotta hate that show? I love that show. Double Dare was awesome. And I'm glad they brought it back. I'm glad Mark Summers is, a producer, sort of having a hand in it, and Mark Summers is awesome. Shame on you for hating on that show. Yeah, I know some of the stuff of the 90s is definitely not aged very well. And I'd be lying if I said that for stuff like Double Dare, heck, even for something like Good Burger, I would be putting on my nostalgia goggles. But with that said, plenty of stuff from the 90s does definitely hold up. Like the cartoons, for instance, from both Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Yeah, I watched me a whole lot of Nicktoons when I was growing up. Funny enough, though, this is when Cartoon Network was just sort of starting to become a thing. And we would get the channel, but it would always come like really, really fuzzy. Like you couldn't tell what was going on or whatever. So it wasn't until I was like almost 10 years old or whatever where I finally was able to watch shows like Dexter's Laboratory and Johnny Bravo, which those shows are awesome. But for the most part, my childhood was like, Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, gotta have Ren and Stimpy, Hey Arnold, a bunch of other great, classic. Oh, the Angry Beavers and Not Real Monsters, those are really cool too. Doug, even though I will admit Doug was probably the weakest of the Nicktoons, but that's just me. So, yeah. Love, 90s kid at heart, and technically both my brother and I were born in the very late 80s, but we grew up in the 90s, so some of the stuff definitely holds places in our hearts. And all I can say is, happy 31st birthday, my brother. I can't wait to see you and your wife later today. Most likely at first when we go to church today. So, yeah. Can't wait to see you, and I hope if it's also your birthday today, you have a wonderful day as well. And also, again, happy birthday, Colleen Klinkenbeard. Thank you for entertaining me since I was like a mid-teenager, I guess. Since my mid to late teens, and continue doing what you do. You're awesome. So, like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I am hoping I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm very hopeful that we all have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, for you guys that want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care, and make good choices.